Hi, it's Tanya, and today I just wanted to do my labor and delivery story for my first daughter. Her name is Erika. I hope I can remember everything because this is almost 7 years ago. She'll be 7 in May. So my labor first started on Wednesday the 30th. 2007. Yay! So I remember that much, and I remember dates and everything. I actually remember the time too. It was about 6 o'clock, and I woke up and I went to the bathroom. TMI alert! So if you wanna skip this part, go right ahead. I won't be offended. But I went to the bathroom. But it is a labor and delivery story, so it'll be a little TMI for some parts at least. Anyways, I went to the bathroom, and sorry if you hear my son in the background. I went to the bathroom and I noticed that I started to lose my mucus plug, and I was getting like period-like cramps. Not very hard, very manageable cramps, like so slight, so mild that, you know, they weren't painful at all. So I came back to bed and I told my husband, I think I'm getting these pains. And he was like, are you in labor? I was like, I don't know. So he was like, how often are they coming? I said every 15, every 20, they're really sporadic. And he said, well, if you're having pain at intervals, then it must be the start of contractions or your labor or something's happening. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. It was my first child. I don't know what it was supposed to feel like or anything. So I called, here in Canada we have like a nurse hotline, so I called the hotline and I explained to them what was going on, and she told me to go to my hospital where I was registered at, in the labor and delivery ward to get checked out. So I went in and I think I was at a 1. I was 1 centimeter dilated. So I came back home and labored at home. So I walked everywhere. I walked to speed up labor. I think I went to bed around 11 o'clock. And there was no change, like the contractions weren't getting stronger or anything. They were still coming like every 20 minutes. And so I went and I got some sleep. I think I woke up around 1 or so in the morning. No, I think I went to bed at 10, no, probably 9 o'clock, and I woke up around 11 because the pain started to get stronger. And they started to get stronger, and then what else happened? Sorry, my son is playing Christmas music on the iPad, so excuse him. Yeah, so they started to get a little bit painful, and 1 a.m. in the morning we went to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, I was still at a 2. I didn't progress very much at all for the whole day. So this is 1 a.m. Thursday morning, and my birth plan was to go natural without any pain meds or anything. And so yeah, we got there. I was a 2. They were gonna send me back home, but my doctor was at the hospital. She was on call, and I also had gestational diabetes with her, and she said go ahead and admit me, although I was only a 2. So they admitted me, and I think my water broke around 3. It broke on its own, and the pain got so intense, really fast. And I was telling my husband, I don't know if I can do this. Even before my water broke, like I started to get really strong contractions, and they felt like they were lasting more than the 30 seconds they were so painful, and I was like, I don't think I can do this natural. And he was like, okay. And then yeah, I said I don't think I can do this natural. But then after my water broke, it was worse, and I was like, I need the epidural. And the nurse said, well, you have to be at least 4 centimeters dilated in order for you to get the epidural, because that's when you'll be in active labor. And the next time she checked me, I think it was at 8 o'clock, and I was 4 centimeters. Was like, bring on the epidural, bring it. So I got my epidural, and I was comfortable, and I was able to sleep and everything. And at about, let me see, I would say a quarter to 12 or 10 to 12, maybe 10 to 12. At 10 to 12, the nurse checked me, and I was, okay, go to the bathroom, sweetie. At 12 o'clock, they checked me, and I was fully dilated. No, it's at 10 to 12, right? It's 10 to 12. I was fully dilated. And the nurse said, okay, we'll do some practice pushes. Or did she even say that? I don't think she said that. I think she went to call the doctor to tell the doctor that I was ready to push, that I was fully dilated. And the doctor was like, well, I'm here with another patient who's been pushing for 4 hours and what's not. So the nurse started to get all the instruments set up and get her gun on and everything. And then they had already had my feet in the stirrups, and she looked back and she could see the head, and she was like, oh my goodness. And she frantically called the doctor, and she was like, you need to get here now, because this lady's gonna have the baby. And because she could see the head and everything, and she turned around and she was like, don't push. But my baby, she was coming out on her own, and it was so funny. She was like, okay, well, with or without the doctor, this baby's coming, so we have to deliver this baby. And I did about 2 pushes, and Erika was born. 1 for her head, and they checked her neck and everything to make sure the cord wasn't wrapped around. And then the next push, she was out. And oh my, it was so beautiful. And then they put her on my chest, and it was the most beautiful moment, having my daughter being born. So yeah, that was her birth story. She's a pretty amazing kid, and we love having her, and she was a beautiful addition to our family, and she spoiled us. She was a good baby. She would sleep through from the beginning, but she was underweight because I had gestational diabetes. I was on a restricted diet. I didn't have to use insulin or anything. So when she was born, she was 6 pounds 1 ounce. 6 pounds 1 ounce. By the time we left the hospital, she was 5 pounds 15 ounces. So I remember I had to be feeding her every 2 hours, and most times I had to wake her up to feed her. She was a really good baby. And I think at 10 weeks, she was at 10 weeks? 10 weeks or, no, by 7 weeks she had already gained, I think it was 10 pounds. And she was able to sleep through the night from 7 weeks. So, yay! She was a really good baby. She really spoiled us and made us wanted to have more babies. So she was our introduction to parenthood, and she did a pretty good job. Anyway, thank you for watching and God bless.